Welcome to the Trent River Report podcast.
Great to be here.
Today we're doing a deep dive into the Trent River, specifically in New Bern, North Carolina. We've got some really detailed exploration material to work from.
Yeah, it looks pretty comprehensive.
And for you, our listener, if you like getting up to speed quickly and thoroughly, this is for you. We're going to unpack what makes this river so special.
Looking at its history, its natural side, and, how it fits into the community today.
Exactly. Think of it as your shortcut to feeling really informed about this, well, fascinating waterway.
And what really jumped out at me from this exploration is just how deeply the Trent story is woven into New Bern itself. It wasn't just like a convenient water source. It was really the engine driving the town's early growth.
Absolutely. The material points out it shares its name with the River Trent in England, a nice little historical tie-in.
Right, a nod to the heritage.
But what's really striking is how vital it was from the get-go. Since 1710, when those Swiss and German settlers arrived, it instantly became this essential route.
For trade, for transport, everything.
Yeah, let's picture that. Those early days, this river being the absolute lifeline, the main highway connecting that new settlement to, well, everywhere else.
It really makes you think about how these early towns worked. We often focus on roads, maybe, but for a port like New Bern, the river set the pace.
Totally.
And the key exports mention things like timber, which must have been plentiful.
Right.
Naval stores, crucial for shipbuilding back then, and tobacco, a big cash crop, all moving along the Trent. That directly fueled New Bern becoming a major port city.
You can almost see the activity on the banks.
Exactly. It shows that fundamental link, doesn't it, between the environment and the economy.
And it's not just the early economy either, is it? The exploration connects the river directly to huge historical sites.
Yeah.
Tryon Palace especially.
North Carolina's first state capital. That's significant.
It really is. And here's where it gets vivid. Imagining dignitaries, important people, crucial supplies, all traveling on that same water.
It makes history feel less abstract, more real.
Yeah, almost tangible. You can picture the boats, the people shaping early North Carolina history right there on the Trent.
Precisely. That direct link to a site like Tryon Palace elevates the river's role. It wasn't just commerce, it was governance too.
Connecting the capital to the region.
Yeah. It makes you think, next time you're near an old waterfront, consider how that water might have played a part in key historical moments.
Definitely shifts your perspective. Okay, so moving from the historical weight, the exploration also really captures its natural beauty. It paints a picture of calm waters, lush surroundings. Sounds very serene.
It really does. The description mentions it's ideal for things like kayaking and paddleboarding, which tells you about its calm nature.
Right, not rapids or anything.
Exactly. And being framed by verdant trees and marshlands and how the scenery changes with the seasons suggests it's not just static beauty, it's dynamic.
A living landscape.
A living ecosystem, yeah. Offering something different throughout the year provides a real sense of peace, I imagine.
And for nature lovers, it sounds like a real treat. It mentions being a haven for birdwatchers.
Herons, egrets, ospreys, the classics.
You could just picture them. Plus, diverse aquatic life fish. Turtles, which points to a healthy river, right? Even within the town.
Well, what's interesting is that blend, the human activity and the natural world coexisting along the Trent. It serves as a place for recreation, but also a habitat. And the mention of catching sunrises and sunsets over the water, that just adds to the aesthetic appeal.
Enhances the quality of life, for sure, for locals and visitors.
Definitely.
Okay, speaking of locals and visitors, the exploration then gets into the recreation and community events tied to the river. Union Point Park sounds key.
Right, where the Trent meets the Neuse River.
That confluence point sounds like a popular spot for picnics, fishing. A real community hub.
Confluences often are, aren't they? They become focal points. And Union Point Park sounds like exactly that, a place for leisure, socializing, really using that waterfront asset.
And there's a boardwalk for views of the river, watching boats go by.
Sounds lovely, a simple pleasure.
But it's not just passive enjoyment. The exploration highlights getting on the water, too. Kayak, paddleboard rentals. Seems accessible.
Yeah, local outfitters like Paddle and Sea are mentioned. Makes it easy for people to try it out.
And fishing to base, catfish, crappie. Sounds like decent angling.
The variety is notable, isn't it? Strolling, paddling, fishing. The Trent seems to cater to a lot of interests.
And for boaters, that connection to the intracoastal waterway is a big plus.
Oh, huge. Opens up a whole network.
But what really brings a place alive, I think, are the community events. And the Trent seems central here.
The backdrop for everything.
Like Mumfest in October sounds like a big deal. Live music, food, riverfront activities.
Yeah, the exploration mentions that. And boat parades, regattas.
Holiday light shows on the water. Summer concerts.
It really positions the river as the heart of the community's social life, doesn't it?
Absolutely. When a riverfront hosts events like that, it becomes more than just scenery. It's a shared space.
Builds community identity, creates memories. For sure.
Now, touching on that community feel, if you want more details on events or the river itself, remember to check out TrentRiverReport.com.
Good point. Lots more info there.
So beyond events, the Trent also seems like a hub for local culture. The banks are lined with restaurants, cafes, shops.
The Chelsea and Persimmons waterfront restaurant gets specific mentions.
Right. Imagine dining with that view.
Waterfront dining always has that special ambiance, doesn't it? Blending the food with the surroundings. It shows how the riverfront boosts the local lifestyle and economy.
And it's not just commerce. The river apparently inspires local artists.
Yeah, visible in galleries and public art. That's a wonderful connection, nature sparking creativity.
It really is. Plus, the mention of community pride through cleanups and environmental programs, that shows real stewardship.
That community involvement is crucial, isn't it, for preserving the river's health and beauty long term. It shows they value it environmentally and culturally.
Definitely. So for anyone listening who's now thinking, I want to see this place, the exploration gives some practical tips.
Which is helpful.
Exploring by water kayak, maybe a guided tour sounds like a must, especially early morning for the peace and quiet.
Right. Get out there before it gets busy. That offers a unique perspective.
Or just walk in the Riverwalk, spending time in Union Point Park for those panoramic views. Also highly recommended.
These tips cover different activity levels, which is smart. Not everyone wants to paddle.
True. And checking the local calendar for events like Mumfest or maybe the new Bern Boat Show could really enhance a visit, experience that community vibe.
Timing it with an event adds another layer.
And importantly, supporting local businesses, those waterfront restaurants, the nearby shops.
Connects tourism with the local economy.
And the final, crucial tip, respect nature. Follow leave no trace principles, support conservation. That applies everywhere, but especially here.
Absolutely critical. Responsible recreation ensures the Trent stays beautiful and healthy for everyone for years to come.
So, summing up this deep dive, the Trent River really does feel like the heartbeat of New Bern. It's this amazing blend of history, nature, community spirit.
All wrapped up in one waterway.
We really hope this exploration has given you, our listener, a good, solid understanding of what makes this place special. And remember, for more details, visit TrentRiverReport.com.
You know, thinking about it all, it really underscores how profoundly a single river can shape a community's entire development and culture.
It really does.
It makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other places, maybe ones that seem quiet on the surface, hold such rich, interconnected stories?
That's a great thought to leave with. Definitely something to ponder. Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the Trent River.
It's been fascinating to discuss.
For more information, please do visit TrentRiverReport.com. Thank you for listening to the Trent River Report podcast.